Hey, 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 happy Monday. I'm going to give y'all a minute to get in here. I hope y'all had a good weekend. Come on. There it is. Okay. Hi, guys. This is Karen from Cedar Creek Primitives, and I'm declaring it Make It Monday. I believe that on Mondays, I will do a live tutorial to share with y'all. As you all know, I have the bug bit me, my clay bug has bitten me again. So I've been working on a lot of clay items, and I just really enjoy working on clay. I'm still going to make dolls, I'm still going to paint, but right now I'm in the swing of working with clay. So I thought today I would share with you how to make a clay cat, paper clay. And that's what I use is Creative Paper Clay. Show you the package. This is what I use. I use Creative Paper Clay for all of my clay products. And so without any further ado, let's get started here. I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Don't forget to share and comment. That helps me a lot. And I'm going to turn you down here. Okay, so what I do, first off, I get my clay out of the package, and I have a Ziploc bag handy in case it starts getting dry. This is really wet for some reason. So I have it out of the bag, kind of trying to dry up some to make it easier to use, because if it's too wet, it just sticks to everything. So I have a ball that I've been kneading a little bit. So, all right, so I start out with some tin foil for my armature, and I do that because then the clay isn't so thick and it doesn't take forever for it to dry, and it gives me the basic shape that I'm going for. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's the basic shape. So I just take some tin foil and I start rolling it up to get the shape that I'm looking for. And I'm going to make a tall, thin cat. So I'm going to do another layer here. And just kind of roll it around. Get it how I want it. I want it to be firm, but I don't want this to be too hard where I can't join together where I want to. So up here I want it to be semi-soft. I think I'm going to do at least part of this down here. I'll give it a little bit thicker base. Now, if you notice, I kind of roll it to get it shaped the way I want and press it and just give it a good squeeze, get it how I want it to stand. Basically the shape that I wanted. Okay, that is going to be the body base. Like I said, it's going to be a tall, skinny cat. So I'm going to roll another circle. Hi Karen, hi Mary, hi Tara. Thanks for joining me. We're making a paper clay cat on Make It Monday. And as I said, I use Creative Paper Clay. That is my clay of choice. It's an air dry clay, which I like. You can also, if you choose, you can bake it to dry it faster at a very low temperature. But I let mine air dry. That's what I'm most comfortable with. Okay. Yeah. So now I am going to take a piece of, what is this? 18 gauge wire. And I'm just going to snip some off. And I'm going to put it at the top here. And then for my headpiece, I'm just going to shove it through like this. Now, to make sure that it stays stable. Hi, Sonia. How are you today? To make sure it stays stable, I am, there it is, going to use some masking tape. And I'm just going to tape up in here. Now, you don't have to use the masking tape, but I really like to. I like to make sure it's secure so that when I go to layer my clay on, that it doesn't start wiggling around and then I don't keep on like breaking the clay more or less. Because I want to keep it steady. And the paper clay adheres just as well to the masking tape as it does the foil. So Okay, so that's going to be my base. Now, when you use paper clay, you don't want it real thick. Because then it tends to crack. Hi, Kathy. So you want to get a thin layer on. And I always tell everybody, you don't need fancy schmancy tools. These wooden ones are very nice. I also do have some metal ones. And I've made some of my own tools. Let's see. Like this guy. Just some wire wrapped around a bamboo skewer. And my rolling pin is a dowel rod. And another thing to have on hand that really helps are paint brushes. And of course, your water. So I just squish this out a little bit. That's another thing about paper clay. It's not, you don't have to really work it. It's very soft and pliable. So if you have arthritis or whatever, it's not hard on your hands. So, okay. So I just have a nice sheet laid out here. And I'm going to start to put it on my form here. And as you can see, I mean, it just really is very, very pliable. Very easy on the hands. I want you all to know too that I am going to be doing a giveaway soon of one of my clay pieces, and I will post more about that on my board on my page in the next couple days. I want to thank all my followers. I appreciate you. Hi, Mike. Okay, so I am going to take this piece here that fits pretty good. I'm just working it in with my thumbs for now. I'll make it pretty later. But right now I just want to get the basic layer on here. Mike, you're a mache artist, aren't you? And then I'm just gonna work some on his head here. What I really like about paper clay, I have to say, is that if you don't like what you've done, you just wet it or sand it, and you can redo without it being a big deal. Here we go. Well, Mike, if I remember right, I've seen some of your pieces and it looks like you've done more than dabbled. It looks like you definitely know what you're doing. I will have to say this, I believe this is my absolute favorite tool here. And I think the whole set of these wood tools were maybe $3, but this is just, I just love this one. And I get this wet, just not real wet, because then the clay gets, if your paper clay gets too wet, it gets sticky. And it makes it very hard to work with. But you really want to make sure that you have the air pressed out between your armature and the clay so that you don't have cracking. I mean, you're probably going to have some cracking that you can fix. I don't think I've ever made a piece that didn't crack at least a little in the drying process. So that's no big worry. But you don't want major cracks. Major cracks are a nightmare. Now I'm just getting my finger a little bit wet. Just very tiny to work this clay and smooth it out a little bit so it's not so lumpy bumpy. Like I said, you don't want too much water on here or it gets gooey. Ooey gooey. Hi Britt, hi Leslie, thanks for joining. So did you all watch the Super Bowl yesterday? I didn't. I wasn't very thrilled with it at all. First off, my teams weren't playing, so that didn't help. The other thing you want to make sure when you're doing this is you want to make sure that it sits. Because there's nothing worse than getting it all done and having it rocking and rolling and not wanting to stand up for you. So we have the basic shape here of our cat. Now, Now, if its ears were going to be really flimsy, I would add wire up in here to the ear to give it some more, so that it's sturdier and it doesn't break. But for right now, I am going to do his cheeks. So I'm just going to roll a ball here. Cut it in half. Re-roll it. I'm trying to get it pretty even. So I'm going to wet the clay before I add these. I'm just going to push it down a little bit. You want the clay to join together. I'm steadying it with my thumb while I push this in together. I'll make sure they're centered. Now I'm like tapping them down to, so they're not big balls here. They're kind of flatter balls, if that makes sense. And guys, I'm going to be real honest. This is just last minute. Hey, Tammy. Last minute put together. This is what I'm going to make. Let's see what happens. Which is how I tend to do things. So, I may end up tearing something off because it's not what I wanted or not what I thought it should look like. I just made a triangle, and I'm setting it up here for his nose. Squish that in there. Yeah, I guess I'm a wing it kind of girl. But I have a general idea in my head what I want. Which I never tend to draw anything out anyways. it's dreamed up in my head, goes to my heart, and ends up in a piece somewhere. Okay, I'm taking this little pointer thing to make some nostrils for this cat. Yeah, I'm going to push that in a little bit. Excuse me. Okay, so at the sides of his nose, right in here, I'm going to make some dents for his eyes to go in. And I think I will use these half beads. They're flat on one side and then round on the other. And I'm gonna just stuck in there. And just taking a little piece of clay here. And I'm going to roll it out into a snake. Give him some eye lids. So just going to attach those there. You just smooth it out. Blending it into the rest of the clay. Excuse me. Now this one seems higher, so I'm just going to poke it up a little bit. Hey Ingrid, how are you today? Right between here, I'm going to define this a little bit more. And I'm going to take part of the snake to make his lower lip. And I'm just smoothing it in. Okay, he needs a chin. So I'm gonna take a little ball of clay. Just roll it a little bit. It's gonna be too big. See how this looks. I'm blending it into his lip. But I'm also pulling the lip out farther. Like I said, I tend to wing what I'm doing. And I don't have a picture or anything to go by. It's just what I have envisioned in my head. So sometimes it takes a couple tries to get it to where I want it to be, which is, there's no really, I don't think there's any set rules in how you do this. You know, I mean, if you want to draw it out and know exactly where you're going with your piece, that's up to you. I kind of like watching mine come to life as I work. Just taking a little of this clay out of his mouth. So that's what we got so far. Oh, thank you, Tammy. All right, let's do some ears here. So I'm just going to roll out a fat snake. And cut it in half. And I'm going to squish it down and kind of make a triangle out of it. same with this one. I'll squish it down. Now, like I said, if this was going to be like real flimsy ears, I would definitely add some wire and foil to them. I'm just smooshing it in. Now, when you're doing this, be careful you don't mash his face. So watch where you put your fingers. And then I'm just going to dent it a little with my tool here to make the inside of his ears. I'm steadying it with the finger in the back. Come along the sides here. And being careful not to touch the face as you get to the back side, so you don't smash your face. And we're getting there. Hi, Brenda. Okay. Now, see, this is, this clay is pretty wet, so it's really kind of sticking to my hands. I'm kind of liking this cat, and I don't even like cats. But I have a good reason for not liking cats. I was attacked by one. Yeah, see that one's, this clay is pretty wet. I am rolling this out to make his front paws, front legs. So I'm thinking that they would be like here. I am kind of pushing it out for his paw. Okay. Just adding a little water here. Excuse me. I'm just going to go down the sides here. Adhering it to the clay. Excuse me. Squish this one out a little too. I will tweak his feet after I get them attached. So yeah, like I was saying before, I am going to be doing a giveaway. I'll give you more details about that later on today. It is going to be for a clay piece of mine. And it's to show thanks for y'all following me. And supporting my small business. I'm taking a paintbrush and defining areas. like right here where I want to make his paws. I'm going to take this paintbrush and just push in a couple spots. Put along here. Take my paintbrush and define this a little bit. Now this clay is going to have to dry a good 24 hours, if not longer. And I'm going to say longer, before I can check for cracks and even think about getting it started to be painted, sanding any imperfections, and smoothing and all that. It's going to be a good 24 to 48 hours anyways. Hi, Michelle. Thank you, Ingrid. Now, for its tail, I am just gonna I'm just gonna have it right there in the back like that. What else would you guys like to see made in clay? Is there anything in particular? You guys gotta let me know what you want to see. Because Mondays are going to be Make It Mondays. 12:30 on Mondays. 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be Make It Mondays, where I will be doing a tutorial on whatever. It could be clay, it could be doll making. It could be a number of things. But I need to know what you want to see. And I can go from there. Lisa, I've never ever used a mold for any of my paper clay work. I've always just hand sculpted it. And I've thought of getting molds, but I don't know. I guess I just like to see if I can do it. Like to give it a shot. The one thing that I want to do right now is clean this off a little bit. Put some holes in here. For whiskers that I'll attach later. So, I have to find this a little bit more back here. And like I said, with paper clay, if there's something you don't like and it's dry, you can re-wet, you knock it off, you can sand it and take it off and redo it. Which is nice. So, there you have it, guys. Maybe his feet need to come down a little bit more. Pull him down a little bit. There we go. There you have it. And in a couple days when he's dry, I will get back on and show you what he's looking like and what needs to be fixed. But I already have a second one started. So I have my work cut out for me for the next couple days. Thank you, Ingrid. I want to thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate you spending your Monday with me. Thank you for letting me know that you're here in the comments. And please don't forget to share. And be on the lookout for the giveaway that I'm going to be doing. it'll involve you sharing my video. So it'll be coming up in the next couple days. So thank you again for supporting me. This is Karen from Cedar Creek Primitives saying goodbye. Have a wonderful day and love you guys.